They thought they could break you. They thought they could take everything you had and leave you with nothing. They built their castles out of lies and power, thinking they could bury you in their shadows. They laughed as you struggled, mocked you when you fell. But here's the thing, they didn't know what they were dealing with. They didn't know that their greatest mistake wasn't writing you off, it was underestimating you. They saw your weakness as an opportunity. They saw your pain as something to exploit, something to crush. They thought that with every hit they delivered, with every snub, every betrayal, they could wear you down, break you until you were nothing but dust. But they never realized that in every hit, in every scar, you were becoming something they would never understand. You weren't broken, you were becoming sharper. And now the joke's on them. Because the moment they wrote you off, the moment they thought you were finished, that was the moment you decided to take control. You don't need anyone to define you anymore. They tried to label you, tried to push you into a box and lock the door. But the moment they turned their backs, you broke that box wide open. They thought they could leave you in the dark, but what they didn't see was the fire growing inside you. They thought their darkness would consume you, but in reality, their darkness only lit the way for you to rise. It wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about getting back at them. No, it was always about one thing, showing them that you are stronger than they could ever imagine. Showing them that what they tried to bury was not something that could be buried. It was a force, it was power, and now, it's your power. They might have written you off, but now, you're the one writing the ending. They're standing on the edge of a cliff, looking down at what they think is their victory, but they don't realize the ground beneath them is crumbling. They built this world of false promises, of manipulation, of lies. They thought they were untouchable, that no one could stand against them. They thought they could walk all over you without consequence, but they made a mistake. They didn't count on you. They didn't count on your resilience. Now, look at them. They stand in their false glory, thinking that nothing will ever come back to bite them. They're still clinging to their broken little empire, still holding on to the belief that they've won. But the truth is, they've already lost, because they never realized that you weren't a player in their game. You were the game itself. While they were busy laughing at your downfall, you were busy making them irrelevant. They thought they controlled the story, but they never understood that stories don't belong to the ones who write them. They belong to the ones who live them. And now, you are living the story they tried to steal from you. It's not about them anymore. It's about you. It's about rewriting your own fate, about becoming the person they never thought you could be. They tried to make you weak, tried to make you dependent on their approval, on their power. But now, they're realizing the truth. They never had any power over you at all. Every step you take is a step closer to the finish line. Every move you make is a move that brings you closer to rewriting the ending. They thought they were the authors, but they didn't realize that the pen was always in your hands. You are the one who holds the power. You are the one who gets to decide how this story ends. And it's not going to end with their victory. No, it's going to end with yours. Because they don't get to decide what happens to you. They don't get to decide when it's over. The final chapter is yours to write, and the way it unfolds will be something they never saw coming. They wanted to destroy you. They wanted to break you, but instead, they gave you the fuel to burn brighter than they ever could. They gave you the fire, the strength, the anger to rewrite everything they thought they controlled. And now, with every move you make, you're changing the world around them. The empire they built on your pain, it's already falling apart, and they don't even know it yet. They're still walking in the darkness, still thinking they're safe, but they're not. They never were, because the moment they wrote you off, they sealed their own fate. You're not playing their game. You're creating your own, and this time, the ending will be exactly what you want it to be. It's funny, isn't it? How they thought their power was permanent. How they thought they had control. How they thought they could write you out of the story. But the thing about power is that it's fragile. It's a fleeting illusion, and the moment they began to believe they were untouchable, they made their biggest mistake. They became too comfortable in their delusions, too arrogant in their belief that they had the upper hand. They never saw it coming. They never saw the storm brewing beneath their feet. You were never supposed to be part of their plan. You weren't supposed to rise. They expected you to stay down, to stay silent, to stay small, but you didn't. You rose from the ashes they thought would consume you. You stood tall when they expected you to cower. You became more than they ever expected, more than they could ever handle, and now they have no choice but to watch as you take back everything they tried to take from you. They thought they wrote you off, but the truth is, they never wrote you out. They only gave you the opportunity to prove them wrong, to show them that their words had no power over you. Their lies, their manipulation, their attempts to bury you, they only gave you the tools you needed to rise from the depths and take control of your own fate. They believed they could crush your spirit. They believed they could shatter your dreams. But the reality is, they were never in control. You always were. They wanted to break you, but in the process, they only built a monster, a force that can't be contained, a force that will never back down. And now that monster is coming for them, and they have no idea what they've unleashed. As they scramble to hold on to their fading power, you're stepping into the light they tried to steal from you. They wrote you off, but you're the one holding the pen now. They thought they could write your downfall, but you're the one writing their end. The power has shifted, and they're left with nothing but the aftermath of their own mistakes. Their lies are crumbling, their empire is falling apart, and all they can do is watch as you take the throne they never thought you would reach. You've already won, they just don't know it yet. You are no longer the victim in their story. You are the hero, the one who defied the odds, the one who rose from the wreckage of their deceit. They tried to erase you, tried to make you a footnote in their twisted tale, but you're the one with the last word. You're the one who decides how this story ends, and you're not going to let them write the final chapter. You're taking control. You're the one who gets to decide what happens next. Every step you take, every move you make, is one step closer to the moment when they realize they're nothing without you. They thought they could erase you from the narrative, but you were never meant to be erased. You were meant to be the force that changes everything. The one who proves that no matter how hard they try to break you, they can never stop you from becoming who you were always destined to be. The world they tried to build on your pain is falling apart, and they can't stop it. They can't stop you. They can't rewrite history. And as the walls they built come crashing down around them, they'll realize the truth. They can never take away what you've become. They can never take away your power. You've turned the tables, and now you're the one writing the ending. It's not about revenge. It's about taking back what is rightfully yours. It's about taking control of the narrative, about showing them that you were never meant to be silenced. You were always meant to rise. And now, as you stand at the top, looking down at the chaos they've created, you'll see the truth. You're not the monster they thought you were. You're the legend they'll never be able to erase. The beauty of it all is that they'll never fully grasp what happened. They'll never understand that their attempts to destroy you only fueled the fire inside you. They thought they could break your spirit, bend you to their will, turn you into something less than what you were. But instead, they created the very thing they should have feared. A force they couldn't control. A person with a vision they never saw coming. And now, look at you. You've rewritten everything. You've taken their plan and torn it to pieces, made something new out of the ruins they tried to leave you in. They had their shot, but they didn't take it seriously. They thought you were an afterthought, a casualty of their games. They never saw you as a threat, but now you're the one holding all the cards. You're the one with the power, with the strength, with the control. And when the dust settles, they'll realize that it was never about them, and it was never about their games. It was always about you. They wrote you off, but the moment they did, they signed their own fate. They handed you the tools, gave you the chance to show them that you're not a part of their world. You don't fit into their lies, their systems, their broken power structures. You don't need their approval, their recognition, their permission to rise. They made one fatal mistake. They believed you needed them. They didn't realize that you were the one who was always meant to stand alone, and now, the tables have turned. The kingdom they built is crumbling. The throne they thought was theirs is slipping out of their grasp, and you're standing tall. You've taken the pieces of their shattered empire and turned them into something far greater. You've taken the wreckage and built a new world, one that they'll never understand, one that's far beyond their reach. The truth is, they've never been as powerful as they thought. They were always weak. They were always dependent on others, always trying to control the world around them. But you've created your own world. A world where their lies don't matter. A world where their cruelty doesn't survive. A world where you write the ending. And when they try to claw their way back into it, they'll find that they don't belong. The thing about revenge is that it's not about the moment of victory. It's not about proving them wrong in front of their faces. It's about standing at the top and knowing that you've done what they said couldn't be done. It's about seeing them stumble, watching as they try to hold on to the empire they built on lies and manipulation. It's about knowing that you are untouchable now, that no matter how hard they try, they can't tear you down again. And they will try. They'll try to claw their way back into the picture. They'll try to rewrite the narrative, but they can't. They won't be able to stop you. The truth is, they never had control over you in the first place. The moment they thought they had you figured out was the moment they sealed their own fate. They underestimated you. They didn't see your strength, your resilience, your will to survive. They didn't see the power that lived inside you, the power that would one day burn everything they built to the ground. Now, you stand in the ashes of their empire, and you are the one who holds the future. You are the one writing the ending. And there's no going back. No matter how hard they try, no matter how loud they scream, they'll never have the power to take that from you. The ending you've written is yours, and yours alone. It's a story they can never take back, a story they can never control. So let them watch. Let them see as you rise higher than they ever imagined. Let them see as they crumble beneath their own weight. You're the one who gets to decide how this ends. You're the one who gets to hold the pen. And they're just the footnotes, nothing more. And when it's all over, when the dust has settled and the ashes have cooled, you'll be the one standing victorious, while they are nothing but a distant memory.